Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back with Attack on Titan. We're on episode 8 of Season 3. In the last episode, we now have a situation where Rod has essentially decided to become the Titan that takes down Eren. Because Historia decided that it wasn't the right way to go. Thankfully, I'm happy about that. I had people who, like, in the comments were trying to explain things from Historia's side, like her point of view, and like the fact that she's in like a weird place because like with the whole thing with Ymir, and the fact that they're no longer together. She wanted like some sort of some sort of love from some parenting love. But I'm sorry, some people are trying to downplay the whole thing that saying Eren's just an acquaintance, or they went to the school together, from what I gather, from what I've seen of Attack on Titan, is that the cadets, and in particularly the main group, got real close. It's a real close group of friends. So, the fact is that since they've been captured, it hasn't been that long. So, for her to just turn on a dime and actually consider it, that's why I feel, why personally I was annoyed by it, and why I think a lot of people are annoyed by it. Of course, it's easy to, as soon as somebody goes against the main character being Eren, that you hate any type of shit that goes down like that. I get that, and you're not thinking of it from a reasonable perspective. I'm thinking about it from the fact that, the cadets, that group is literally the only family she's ever had, and yeah, most importantly Ymir, but it wasn't like it was just Ymir and that's it. It's that whole group. So for the fact that she actually was considering it, just shows how fucking naive she was. And I explained the one the thing that actually grinds my gears most is naivety or sheer stupidity without thinking about it, and just going straight in and just taking, it's, he's my father, so yeah, he must be telling the truth. The thing is that even if Rod is doing this for what he could would say is the right reason, which is for humanity's sake, even then I didn't agree with the fact that Historia was, she was almost considering it. Well, it wasn't even almost. She was considering it. She almost got there. But here's the thing. Rod, to me, the thing is, it's people were, while they were explaining Historia's side, some people were also explaining Rod's side as well. I'm right, well, that's where it ends with me, because you can take manga Rod all you like and then say this is your interpretation of it. I think, I don't know how it is explained in the manga, because I don't read the manga. But the thing is with Rod is that he's always been shady from the very beginning. As soon as he came up, I was like, right, there's something a bit fucking strange about this here. There was a time at the very beginning when he first showed up, that I was, trying to see things from his perspective, and maybe Rod had to ship out Historia or Krista at the time to sort of protect her. Now, that clearly wasn't the case. What the case is, obviously I don't think we've got the full story of what happened in the cave with the rest of the fucking race family, where apparently Grisha murdered them all, and conveniently the one to get away was Rod. I just think there's that whole thing of, like, what, is he just left them there to die? Did he know it was going to happen and he got like a fucking, like, head start? I don't know, but the fact is that the first thing that he thought of as soon as he ran away was to, go back and basically, it's like, see Historia, right? It's basically his last resort. Like, he did not want anything to do with Historia prior to that, So the guy is a dick, even if he thinks he's doing it for humanity, which I don't believe so, considering some of the last things that he said before he turned into this Titan was, he was basically comparing this power to God. You know what I mean? And I think when you have that's when it starts changing. That's when it becomes a God complex, and you are not doing it out of being selfless, which is what he was spouting. Like, that's the nonsense he was spouting. Oh, you do it. No, this is for humanity. You know what I mean? With this power, you can get rid of all of the Titans. And he was saying that because he had Historia on his side, and he wanted Historia to be the one to go through with it. And, like, he didn't want to do that shit. You know what I mean? He's the one that was forcing it on Historia to do it. And, you know what I mean? He was essentially making up, like, bullshit. Yeah, probably with that Titan power, considering how powerful it is supposed to be, yeah, you could get rid of all of the Titans. That bit was true. But I think what Rod really wants is to be in control, and have his family stay in control. I don't think he wants to get rid of all of the Titans, because the like, with the Titans, like, outside the wall, that's what keeps, you know what I mean, that's what that's why the walls are there, to keep people from going out, you know what I mean? Like, that's like, it's almost like a security, like some sort of security for themselves, like, you know what I mean? So, I don't see Rod as, you know what I mean, obviously as a good guy. There was hints of truth, I think, thrown in a lot of bullshit, just to keep spurring on Historia, giving her this story as like, oh no, but you don't know, this is for the good of the people. It doesn't matter if he's your friend or whatever the fuck. Like, this is the bigger picture, whatever. One of the things that I heard literally the day after last week was I started watching Psycho Pass, and one of the first lines I heard, I think it was in, like, episode 2, was that like, justice before duty, and there was that whole thing of Historia literally calling it was her duty to do that. And, there's a lot more to life than just fucking duty and following orders. You know what I mean? I think, that's where you lose your human nature. As soon as you start, like, you don't empathize and you don't think things through, you know what I mean? It just becomes it's a bit shocking. And like, basically that's just the reason why I just found myself not liking where it was going. I remember on, like, episode 6, I was like, if this fucking turns into a thing where Historia actually considers it, it will annoy me. And then the next week, episode 7, it did, and obviously it annoyed me. But, you know what I mean, she turned it around at the end, so fucking big ups to Historia for that. Obviously we had Kenny, who, got actually a bit of character development, whereas before he just seemed like, oh, just a murderous rampage, and also he's, like, taking orders from a higher up. Obviously it was Rod in the end, but he got a bit of character development. The end goal really he was looking to achieve was to take the power for himself, and become king. But there was that whole thing of, like, oh no, you have to be a race in order to be like royalty or whatever the fuck, because it's in their blood and whatnot. And Kenny, it kind of got to a point where Kenny was like, oh, you know what, fuck it, I might as well get some entertainment out of this. Went up to Eren, cut off his like the fucking like the metal fucking shackle thing around his mouth so he could actually speak, which actually in the end probably would have saved him. So the big ups to Kenny for that one. And yeah, obviously with Historia rejecting the whole notion of this, slaps the syringe, the needle out of Rod's hand. It splatters everywhere. He goes mental. She goes up to try and free Eren. And whilst that's happening, Rod is on the floor where all this fucking, well, this spinal fluid juice is leaking all over the place. And he what I thought was ingesting it, but it's no, it's not that. It what I forgot, and someone did mention it, and I can't remember your name, sorry, but you'll know who you are because you're the only one that actually commented. That Kenny held a knife in the guy's mouth, and he's cut him, and it's got into his DNA that way. So that's how he's turned like immediately as soon as the fluid like entered his mouth, which I completely forgotten. Yeah. So thank you, dude, for telling me that. And yeah, there was this whole revelation about the liquid being specifically spinal fluid, and that's the reason like why, like when Eren, somebody else commented this as well, why Eren in the first season when he got he was eaten, but only like his arm came off and like his leg and whatnot. It's because like the reason why that Santa Claus fucking Titan looking motherfucker didn't gain those powers was because he didn't take any of Eren's spinal fluid. So yeah, there's an interesting little revelations happening, and this motherfucker is huge. This Rod Titan, I like, you know what I mean? He looks fucking massive, and he looks like he's just a spine with like a head on the end of it. But well, and a fucking like a torso type shit. But yeah, I think I've been rambling on for way too long. It's over 10 minutes. But yeah, we're gonna get in episode 8 right now. So let's go. Outside the walls of over, just over. There's gonna be a cave in. Yeah, I fucking knew it. I said that in the last episode. It's opened! Oh shit! Oh shit, he's already there! Oh my god. Oh. Is this guy still transforming? Oh fuck, it's big and colossal? Oh shit. Alright, it's more than just a spine. Fucking hell! Is this guy gonna break through the... Is it gonna break through the fucking floor? What's that on the floor? What is that? Is that... What? Damn. Yeah, it's like that time back in season 1. Put him back in that frame of mind. Oh shit. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh. Oh fucking hell. What's this armor about? What is this? Hi guys, sorry to interrupt. Because I didn't speak about this actually, and I don't even think I even recognised what was going on because shit was just crazy at the time. Did Kenny just die there? Because I can't remember seeing that. And I've just been editing it now, and I've just looked at it, and I think he just died. So if anyone can like confirm that, that'd be great. But yeah, on with the video. Is he gonna make like a crystal sort of... Still gonna cave up on top here, so I don't know how you would get out. He is, he's breaking through the floor. The cave just can't handle his size. Oh, fucking hell! Are you kidding? Look at the size of this cunt! Twice as big. So he's what? He's like 120 meters tall. Fucking hell! Oh shit, that's a crazy visual. What's with that? Wait, how did they break through that? Oh wow, it's gonna stay there like a relic. That's cool as fuck. Imagine that like in years to come and they're like, why did he know what that was? Because he gets memories, right? I love the scars that he gets. Damn. I thought the guy had. He had legs, but I'm not sure he does. Oh no, he does. Oh, what the fuck? Where's he going? It's like a fucking. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a fucking. It's like the Grudge.
ロッドレースが始祖の巨人と呼んだエレンの中にある巨人の力。それはレイスケの血を引く者が持たないと進化を発揮できない。初代王曰くこれが真の平和だって。面白いことを考えてるじゃないか。
これをあの巨人に食わせれば、ロッドレースは人間に戻ります。完全な始祖の巨人に戻すことはまだ可能なんです。
人間に戻ったロッドレースを拘束し、初代王の洗脳を解く。これに成功すりゃ、人類が助かる道は見えてくると。お前はそうなる覚悟はできていると言いたいんだな。
はい。
選択肢はもう一つあります。まず、今のやり方にはいくつか問題があります。一つは確実にロッドレースの洗脳を解けるという確証がないこと。人類の記憶を改ざんされたら終わりです。
がエレンを食べてまともに元に戻るのかってことしたい。何一つ確証がないしね。
の破滅的な平和思想の持ち主から始祖の巨人の力を取り上げている今の状態こそ、あなたのお父さんは初代王から私たち人類を救おうとした。それだけの選択を課せられたから。
I figured there had to be a reason. There wasn't just.
みんなを救いたいなら、お前はこの力を支配しなくてはならない。
そう、レイスケの血がなくてもきっと人類を救う手立てはある。だからエレンに地下室の鍵を託した。
がようやく立ったんだ。選択肢は一つしかねえだろ。
少しはマシになってきたな。
用のない巨人を壁の中で自由に散歩させて
How
あ
would
げ
you
るわけに
kill
はいか
a
ない。
titan that big?
あのサイズじゃ拘束も無理だろう。君のお父さんを殺すほかなくなる。
He was never your father anyway.
エレン、ごめんなさい。礼拝堂の地下で私は巨人になったあなたを殺そうと本気で思った。お父さんが間違ってないって信じたかった。お父さんに嫌われたくなかった。
Well, I don't think you've got long. You haven't got long.
お前にやってもらうことがある。
はい。
I'm gonna have to put on the throne, right?
この戦いが終わったら、お前は正当な王位継承者として女王になれ。クーデターは成功したが、兵団がトップに立っても民衆は従わない。正当な王位継承者が 偽物から王冠を取り戻したって物語が必要なんだ。
ヒストリアはようやくレイス家から離れて自分を取り戻したわけで、なのにまたお仕着せの役目を与えるのはつまりかわいそうかと。
わかりました。心配してくれてありがとう。でもお仕着せにするかどうかは結局自分次第なんだって、そう思う。兵長、一つだけ条件が。
ああ、
自分の運命に自分で決着をつけさせてください。
She gonna be like the one to kill her father? Is that what's gonna happen?
女王になったらあのチビを殴ってやればいい。
やはり夜明け頃にオルブドクに到達する見込みです。
分かった。エルヴィン団長、君の復案を聞かせてもらおうか。
10人にはこのままオルブドクにとどまってもらいます。
正気か。
Jeez, bloody hell, they got that far ahead of it? Oh, fucking hell. Ah! Okay, episode 8. Right, so, from the very top, I realised that the spinal fluid also steams, which, you know what I mean, yeah, I guess that is where I guess that's where, like, the weird, like, steaming sort of shit, like, originates from. I failed to really, like, elaborate last week on Eren's sort of like drastic change in like personality, because you know ever since like you know the start, he's had such a rage boner for killing Titans. And he's been so determined to like follow through with this goal that, you know, there has not been room for really much else in terms of emotion to come through for Eren. And I like the fact that last week that he was given, you know, he was obviously listening to all the shit that Rod was talking about, and it included the whole, you know, with this power you could get rid of the Titans. So the goal, so Eren's goal would never change. He always thought that no, it would be me the one, I would be the one to eradicate all of the Titans. So it's not entirely the same, but through his actions, that is something that could become a possibility. And obviously through his actions, he was thinking, all right, fuck it, I'll give up my life in order for that to happen. But yeah, it was a definite drastic change, and it's sort of welcome, because I think, you know, a lot of people would say that Eren is pretty one-dimensional, like along with Mikasa as well. You know, because it's basically it's a one motive sort of driven show for those two. You know what I mean? Eren is predominantly focused on getting rid of the Titans. And he'll do anything in his power to do that. And then you've got Mikasa, who's solely wanting to protect Eren. So, you know, it's easy to, you know, just write them off as sort of like, yeah, they're not all of that interesting characters. Like, look at Eren as almost like a very average sort of protagonist. But you know, with this, the thing that he's gone through here, I think is a mixture of, you know, it's still the same goal, however, it's gained through different means. I think that's what Eren was thinking. Like, you know, if I can give up my life to give up this power to somebody else, because there would have to be a race in order to make the the potential of the power that much greater, to the point where they could get rid of the Titans, then it's worth it for him. So the goal remained the same. However, his personality just completely sort of like 180. At that point, he was completely and utterly taken aback. He was completely useless, and that's what he felt. So I think, you know, it's definitely like a welcome change. And I think a lot of people who maybe were not so keen on Eren, or maybe were a bit on the fence, maybe never thought of Eren as some sort of like intriguing or interesting protagonist. I think this is a sort of, these last 2 episodes could sway them a bit more in the other direction. So yeah, it's you know, I feel like it was a disjustice, sort of like an injustice, disjustice, fucking gee, oh, what am I saying? Injustice, like that I didn't talk about it. So yeah, I decided I would talk about it here. So I mean, I'll go along with that. I think I've been thinking about this a lot, that it's so easy to judge this show based upon, like, you know, judging a book by its cover. You know, it's easy to, I think what most people will judge this show by, like, either, you know, looking at a poster or just being told what it's about, watching a trailer, that it's literally just human beings against big people. And that's what it's about. I think, you know, if it wasn't incredibly apparent how popular the show was, I think people would struggle to almost find a reason to watch it. Maybe not like to that nth degree, but, you know, because, well, I mean, I find it interesting, like the idea of, yeah, like human beings fighting bigger people. It's sort of like exciting, but I've always liked that kind of shit. You know, so but, you know, I think overwhelming popularity of this show has gotten a lot of people to just pick it up and see what it's about. You know, because I think from the offset, the one thing that you're thinking is, oh, it's just humans and it's against big people. And I praise this show a lot for its world and its story and its ability to tell the story as well. Because I think, you know, it's one thing to have a good story. It's another thing to have it be told in such a way that is always interesting, and it's always giving you questions. And it's the reason why this is like one of my favorite shows, period, is because it gives you those questions. It asks, you know what I mean? You ask so many different questions that you find yourself, even when you're not watching it, like, you know, in the downtime where you're spending week to week between each episode, making theories, analyzing the episodes and whatnot, and it's a great fucking, like, that is a smart way to tell a story, when you can get somebody to think about your show and, you know, keep coming back to it even when there's no, like, new material to watch or read if you're reading the manga. You know, it's very smartly written. It's very clever. You know, and I think, you know, there tends to be, you know, I mean, there's a lot of shows that you can just go away from, like, you can watch the episode and go away from it and then not even have to think about it before the next episode. You know, and I give Attack on Titan a lot of credit for how good the story is and how well it's written. And that's the thing, when I go back and I say, like, oh, it's easy to judge this show, it's easy to look at, like, that picture and think, there's probably not a lot about that. You know, there is no way that somebody who knows very little about the show, that there's humans against giant people, and looked at that poster and went like, and we'll get to the part where we are now with season 3, episode 8, and think that this is what's happening. Like, there is no way somebody back then could ever figure out that this is the amount of engaging story and storytelling at this point. I doubt anybody knew that that's the level of storytelling we were going to get. You know, and I give the show a lot, like, so much props for being this good. So yeah, I do. I really enjoy this show. If it wasn't apparent already. So yeah, there was a vial on the floor. Obviously, I noticed it before because obviously, well, it's put there in fucking, you know. Generally, more often than not, you don't draw something in that's incredibly apparent, unless it's important. So it's a vial of something. I'm not sure it was spinal fluid. I don't think it was, because it was a different color. The spinal fluid stuff is like kind of clear to sort of. I feel like it's got like a greeny blue tinge kind of to it. That was like pinky, sort of. It was like pinkish, and he looked at it and he said armor, and I was like, wait, what? So it's quite clear that it's another one of those instances where, you know, when we had the flashback with Grisha, and he was going to inject like Eren, one of the things he said was something about like let their memories like guide you, or something like that, right? So obviously with like the power comes memories of what has happened previously. You know, so there's obviously something with that, the armor. I don't know what that fluid gave him, essentially. I don't know what part that actually played. I don't know if that gave him the ability to actually start the crystallization thing, and sort of harden. If it unlocked that potential in him. Because here's the thing. The basement, right? That's basically been like the big fucking goal, the thing that we're trying to work towards, right? I imagine it from now it becomes well, obviously we've got to get rid of Rod first, and then we'll go to Wall Maria, plug that up, and then go to the basement, right? I don't think it's going to be basement and then plug Wall Maria up, because I think the priority lies in, you know, sealing that up first. But apparently, you know, we've always been told that the basement, there lies the key to humanity's survival, or whatever it was, right? So, is it a case of Grisha having something along the lines of a vial of fluid, some kind of stuff that brings out the potential in the ability that Eren could not previously have because he's not a race? So obviously, you know what I mean, there's this whole thing with, like, you know, you have to be a race in order to unlock the Founders Titan's full potential. And because Eren isn't a race, he doesn't have that ability. But does Grisha, is the thing that's in the basement, is that what could give Eren that potential that a race would have? Is that what the key is? Because if that's the case, then I think I understand what the armor fucking vial is, where it's brung out it's brung out an ability, it's brung out a potential that Eren's Titan should have, but because he's not a race, he couldn't access it before. But now with that vial, he can. There could be something with that, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I would say, because obviously with him being the main character, it gives, you know, it gives Eren obviously that sort of that path to be able to do what he shouldn't be able to do because he's not a race, right? It means that he doesn't have to die for the sake of you know, humanity survival or whatever the fuck. But yeah, so I don't even know what to call the fucking, what to call like Rod's Titan, just like, because colossal. Oh, what's bigger than colossal? Humongous. I don't know. I don't know. Massive. No, because I still feel like colossal's bigger than both of those. But anyway, he's supposed to, he's apparently twice as big, at least. I think the colossal's 60 meters, right? So Rod's Titan is 120 meters at least. Fucking hell. Like, that's crazy. I'm guessing by the way that he moves, he can't prop himself up on his legs, which I would like to see, because I just want to see this, like, the scope of it. As it's one thing seeing it on the floor and just seeing its length, but like if he manages to get up, like, I don't know, prop himself up by using the wall or something, because the Colossal Titan was like up to here-ish, right? So he could prop his hands like on the wall, and he was like here-ish. So fucking hell, would the Rod Titan, like, would he be up to, like, would he be able to rest his nutsack on the wall, for example? You know what I mean? Like, that's just so ridiculous. Honestly, like, this would be a great time to see, like, Berthold become the Colossal Titan and just see the size, like, just see the size difference. Because we all know how big the Colossal is, and, like, you know what I mean? When you look at that, before you even know that this fucking Rod Titan exists, you're looking at that and you're thinking, fucking hell, this bitch is massive. I just want to see it. I just want to see the fucking, I just want to see it. I want to see him stand up. I want to see him literally glory hole. Well, he wouldn't even glory hole the wall, because, again, it would be over the top. And, well, I mean, he doesn't have, I mean, Titans don't have nutsacks or fucking, or cocks anyway, so, you know. But I feel like it's a funny image, so we'll just go with that. But yeah, I want to see them, like, I want to see them go at it. I want to see fucking the Colossal Titan, like, go at this fucking, this Rod Titan, just because, you know, it's the two biggest fuckers in the show, and I want to see them go at it, but, you know, it'll be like a fucking mech battle kind of shit. But yeah, so Eren, obviously taking that armor vial, whatever, he managed to crystallize, and I love the fact that, you know, like the actual body of the Titan would disintegrate, like, and dissipate, and eventually just like evaporate up. But I like the fact that the crystal that they create remains. I love that, because now that is there. You know what I mean? Like, that's like almost stuck there. I like the fact of, I don't know why this is like the first thing that popped up into my head, but it's almost like a fucking, like, a relic, like you know, like one of the first things I thought was, like, imagine this in, like, I don't know, like 1,000 years time, and like they find this sort of thing, like, I don't know, like the whole Titan thing has been erased, like, you know what I mean, it's gone at this point. You know, and there's, like, I don't know, like, there'd probably be literature about it or whatever, like, maybe, but it might have turned to myth at this point, or legend. And then they find this kind of thing, and it's like a huge fucking, like, almost like a relic of what once was. And it's like an ancient sort of fucking, like, find, you know what I mean? It would be cool as fuck. Because imagine, like, just imagine finding that shit, like, in our world, you know what I mean? Like, in our world are like, you know, Titans don't exist, right? And then I don't know, we're just digging one day, and then we'll find this fucking entrance to a cave, and there's this fucking massive like outline of a Titan. You know, it'd be cool. But I guess like due to like the nature of almost like the crystal itself, people would just put it down as, oh, it's just a sculpture. But you know, it would be cool though. It would be cool. You know, it was just weird. It was one of the first things I thought of. But the crystal itself, I am kind of wondering, there must be different there must be different so, like some crystal must be harder than others. It must be, because they can't break through into Annie's crystal, but they can break through and get Eren out of his, you know? So, but yet that same crystal that Eren made was able to support the whole fucking collapse, you know? So I don't know if they kind of just hope that no one would pick that up. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if it's able to support the Earth collapsing on it, then surely you can't dig your way through it to get Eren, you know? Just a little thing I picked up. I don't know what the science of it is, but yeah, I did find that a little bit weird. I wrote down, where is Rod going, and he's heading towards the sender. So my question is then, do normal Titans that aren't human forming Titans, we all know like that when Eren, like, he needs a goal, transforms into his Titan, and if he isn't in control of it, then, you know what I mean, like, that's basically what the Titan is geared to do. Is like the last goal in mind, that's what he does. But obviously when he can control it, he can just act like it's his own mind and just control it that way, like a big mech or something. So I imagine then, for just like you know, everyday Titans, they are the same. Whatever their last goal is in mind, that's what they do. It would make sense, because that is why, you know, when they have obviously the whole ritual with the race family and whatever, that, like, you know, as soon as they turn into a Titan, they eat the person who's like strung up. So I'm wondering where he's going then, because I figured the last thing that he would like the last goal he would have in mind was to eat Eren, but it doesn't seem that that's what he was doing. So yeah, it's interesting. Just remember that I need to find the middle here. Titan hardening. An ability used by the armored Titan and so forth for a Titan to harden their body. While in hiding, Eren Yeager conducted experiments to replicate this ability in order to plug Wall Maria. However, it wasn't until his attempt on the ground that he first succeeded in doing so. Yeah. And I believe that is the that came from the vial. It had to have. I feel like that unlocked his potential or something. Instead of just, you know what I mean? Because otherwise, what's the point in it? You know what I mean? It had to have. So yeah, Historia is to become queen, and obviously she explained the reasons why she considered eating Eren, which, you know, I I don't know. I understand, like, that's what like that is why. I just feel like it was a bit too much. It wasn't like this was played out over time for a long period of time. It was like, you know, I don't know exactly how long it was, like how long they've been captured for, but you know, you look at that in comparison to the time that she's had with the cadets and whatnot. I just, you know, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I think that is it. But yeah, I've obviously I love this show, and I love talking about it, and I love fucking analysing and discussing it, because it's always a fun time. And I always feel so like accomplished, like fulfilled, like reacting to this kind of, like, to this show, you know what I mean? Because you know, I feel like I get a proper video out of it. For those that know, you'll know my kind of reaction style is to discuss and analyze stuff. You know, and this show never gives me. There's never an episode where I'm like, there's not really a lot to talk about here. You know what I mean? So it's always great to, like, I'm always excited for every single one of these episodes. And I love it. So yeah, I think that's all for this episode. Obviously we had I think last thing is that we obviously had I'm not sure if it was really a revelation, but it was a confirmation that Grisha was doing it to save humanity. You know, and I mean, of course, I remember when Rod originally said, "Oh, Grisha, he came and he basically, you know, killed your sister and killed the rest of your, like, siblings and our family, and you know what I mean, and he did it for his own gain and stuff." And I'm like, there's more to it than that. There's more to it, because, you know what I mean, if he was doing it for himself, he would not go grab that fucking ability, come back, and then give it to Eren. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's you know what I mean, there was obviously something in his head, there was something at play that he wanted to fulfill. He wanted to do it the proper way, and do it through Eren, clearly because of something that he has in the basement, which I believe is some sort of, it could be another vial that brings out the potential that the race family could have had with that Titan ability. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, that was all for episode 8. So in the description below, I have a bunch of links to different places. One of them is the Discord. I urge everyone to go over there, especially if you want me to react to a certain show, because that's where polls and things of like that nature start. Or if you just want to come over, talk to me and the community, you know what I mean? We've got a great community like over there, so you know, I urge everyone to go over there. I think it's in the description. My PO box is also, like, address is also in the description below, so if you do want to send me anything, I totally can do with that address down there. I'll open it up on camera and on video, and I will react to it like that, and that'll be a bit cool. But if you don't want me to open it up on camera, just make sure you tell me with the patch, and I'll make sure I won't do that. And finally, Patreon, that's a big one. So yeah, if you go down there, go to my Patreon link. There's a bunch of different tiers and rewards that you can get depending on how much you want to pay and support me. So the big one is obviously early access. That's $5 a month. For that, you get episodes a week early, and you get 4 episodes across all the shows every single week. So obviously the shows that are involved with Patreon for early access are Psycho Pass, Suzumiya Haruhi, Tokyo Ghoul, Code Geass. So you get 4 episodes of each of those shows every single week. So that's 16 across the week, 64 across the whole month, as opposed to the 32 videos a month that the general public get. So for $5 a month, you know what I mean, I think it's pretty good value. So if you're clamoring for more reactions from me more frequently, that is the place to go. $10 a month, that is full length. So if you want to see my full unedited reactions to all shows, including Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Re:Zero, and all of the shows that I previously mentioned, every single reaction that I do, I always upload full length. So if you're wanting those, then $10 is the one you want to go for. $15, that is the exclusive tier. So for that, you get an extra show which I'm currently doing, which is Parasite. So if you want to watch me react to Parasite, you'll have to get the exclusive tier, at least while it's airing. Once I've completely reacted to all of Parasite, it will go to the general public. So, you know, don't think that you have to, if you want to watch me, you have to pay. You know what I mean? You can just wait. Also, all OVAs across all shows will be going into the exclusive as well. So if you want to watch any OVAs, that's a place to go. And also movies and things like that. So obviously the big, like the first one I'll probably do is the My Hero Academia 2 Heroes movie. If you want to watch me react to that, then that'll be an exclusive as well. And also any movies from the future, in the future, will that's where it will be. And I'm thinking of probably doing them live as well. So yeah, that's interesting. $50 a month, big jump. That is the elite tier. For that, you get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It will go to the back of the queue. I think there's about 7 shows in there now, so it will take me a bit to get round to it. However, if you want to jump the queue, then you want to get God tier, which is $100. So obviously you get a choice per every payment that you do, with me being on a pay monthly sort of basis. You know, if you pay $100 the first month, you get a choice of a show. Second month, if you pay $100 again, you get a choice of another show. Okay, so it keeps being accumulative, and that is with Elite tier as well. The only rules between Elite tier and God tier is that the show must be 150 episodes or less, and it must be a show that I've never reacted to. Or watched. You know, I mean, not even just reacted to. Just it must be a show that I've never watched before. Okay, so I believe that is all that I need to talk about. So thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you.